Hi there, folks, and welcome to our show today here on the Direct Line on a bit of a more somber note. This is something that we've been wanting to do for a few weeks now, and we've decided that we're going to do it now, and now is the time. Joining me on the show today is Charlene Basilio, but before I speak to Charlene and welcome her onto the program, Charlene is Lyall Cooper's fiance, and as you may or may not know, Lyall's been through a very, very tough time of late. We as the Direct Line have decided to start a medical expenses fund to try and help Lyall through all his medical expenses, whilst he belongs to a medical aid, and we'll find out from Charlene what that covers and what that doesn't, and whilst he is still earning some form of salary from his employers, he has been through a terrific time of late. And I know from my own personal circumstances, and some of you may know what I've been through sort of 12, 13 years ago. And I was absolutely overwhelmed by the support that I received when I was ill from the racing industry and from people that follow horse racing. What I can say is that a fund was started up for me by Robert Bloomberg, who is a well-known attorney and a well-known racing personality in South Africa. Unbeknown to me, that fund was started whilst I was still very ill in hospital. And it was very kind of everyone to have donated and to got me through the worst of the times. But we have decided today to launch a fund that will cover Lyall Cooper's expenses and hopefully go a long way to doing that. Charlene, welcome to the show. I know it's a tough time for all of you out there, but thanks very much for joining me this morning. And
Hi, Nico.
It's been a tough ride, but just go back a little bit. I know Lyall wasn't feeling particularly well. Both him and I sort of got pneumonia at the same time in June. I thankfully took a month or two to recover and was back at work, but Lyall's had a tough passage since then. The pneumonia was back in June, there or thereabouts, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. And basically, so then, we then had a look. We went from doctor to doctor, and they said he had COVID pneumonia. Then from there, he had basically he got diagnosed with a swollen or enlarged liver, should I say, because they did an X-ray with his lungs. And then, so we went from there, we did more bloods, and we then saw a gastroenterologist, and they've then picked up that he had bone marrow fibrosis as well. So which means that it's like the blood cells, you get teardrop shaped blood cells. So we went then to a hematologist. Then a hematologist told us that they pick up something, but they're not sure what it is. The gastroenterologist then came back to us and said she wanted to do a liver biopsy, a CT scan, and further. So we booked him into Fourways Life Hospital. And this is over a period of time, about 2 months already. And then we found in the CT scan, there was I think you call it a polyp or a little piece that was floating in his bladder that they saw. And so then he went in with a scope to have a couple of scopes, and they saw that it was cancerous. And from there onwards, they cut it out, and now we are at a stage where he's been at times where he's nauseous, he's weak, he struggles to get up. But then we he got sick again. We landed up going to Karstenhof Hospital, and he landed up in ICU. And in Karstenhof Hospital, they did a laparoscopy to see if it was his lymph nodes, and thankfully it wasn't spread anywhere else. But from up until now, we are sitting at a point where we got to go for the next 5 years. He's got to have a scope done, which is called a cystoscopy, basically every 3 months, to just give him chemotherapy. And we also got some nurses coming with doing a catheter up as well to give chemotherapy for the next 6 weeks, once a week for the next 6 weeks. Oh. As of now, we do have a hospital plan, but as you know, these specialists, when you go consultations, the fees that build up, there you have to pay cash, and most of the things are paid with co-payments. So, not everything's covered. And the bills have been coming up and coming up. Or so far, I'm sitting, I think I would reckon, at about 40,000. We're sitting at, and we got kids to also support and look after. There is 4 of them.
Yeah.
It's
Lars got
tough,
3
yeah.
daughters. Lars got 3 daughters.
Yeah, I've got one, yes,
And
yeah.
you have a daughter, correct? Yeah.
So it's been tough, trying to also run around, the cost of trying to get to the doctors, get answers, get everything, the cost of putting everything together. It's a battle.
But I know that in terms of his employer, which is For Racing, that they
yes.
met with him extensively, and they've given him a lot of leniency in terms of time off. But he's exhausted his leave now, so there's been some sort of deal struck with that they give a certain percentage of his salary through to him, so he's still getting some money through.
Yes, yeah. They've been amazing in some ways. We've had a lady that her name by Elizabeth. She's helped us a lot, and the whole team, Precious and Keshi and Fundi, they've given us a percentage just to obviously cover some of his costs and things. It does help, but you know how life is at the moment. It's not exactly the cheapest, and things do overlap.
Just in terms of him wanting to work, I know that he tried to make a comeback and tried to do what he did. He did a good job at the Equus Awards, when he came back, and he was there for about a week or so and then disappeared again.
Yes.
But punters desperately miss him because he's regarded as one of the finest tipsters in the country. I know he works very, very hard at what he does. And from a direct line perspective, our personal relationship is that he continues to tip where he can, but he is not strong. He is particularly.
He's not strong, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yeah, and it's not like him. I've never seen him in 5 years. Well, in the 10 years I've been with him, he's never, and the 10 years of working for the company, obviously, he's never been sick, and he always goes. Even if he had a slight cold or flu, he would carry on, and he would move, and he would go to work, and he would come back, and he would just keep on going. He's a soldier, and he's a humble, caring, most amazing man. And honest, and just the support, and to see him like this, it's hard.
Yeah. I've got this picture of you guys. Which I just wanted to show, and this is Lyall Cooper. For those of you that may not make reference or may not know who he is, and watching this video may want some sort of point of reference, but that is Lyall, and he's a very well-known racing figure, and it'll be wonderful for everyone to come on board and to help him. The point is that he wants to work. He obviously wants to get out of bed, and that he's particularly weak at the moment. And this is designed from our hearts to try and help Lyall from a financial perspective, and to try and let him stop worrying about that side and concentrate on getting better, which is what I know he wants to do. Now, the important thing is that I discussed this with Charlene before I went about my business, and I contacted a firm of attorneys. I contacted a guy by the name of Rowan Furman from Furman and Associates, and I asked them to please set up an account fund, which would have the direct result of helping Lyall from people depositing into a fund that was run by a firm of attorneys, and eventually there'll be drawdowns from that account once deposits were made. In addition, we'll talk about the Backer Buddy in a moment, because we've done it 2 different ways. But just from your perspective, Charlene, we wanted to thank Rowan and his team for really helping us out in that regard, because there is a central account, which I'll share the details in a moment, that people can deposit into with effect immediately.
Yes, and we want to thank, as well as we set up a Backer Buddy with a friend of mine. She did it for us because she also saw the same thing, and she wanted to help out. So we would appreciate anything and everything. If anybody could put in even the smallest amounts, it would be appreciated. Yeah,
sometimes the smallest amounts go the longest and away when people do it. So basically, we have let us share the details quickly now with everyone of the fund that we have set up. And this is, as I say, it's set up by our direct line team, which is made up of our ghostwriter, Nino Podesta, and myself, in addition to Lyall. And here is what the details are. And that account has been set up for the direct purpose of helping Lyall out. And please feel free to use that account and to put a reference there too, because I'm sure that Lyall, Charlene, will want to know where the money has come from. And, you know, people are entitled to remain anonymous, and a lot of people do in these circumstances. But if people do want to put their name, Lyall would love to know who it is that's doing the deposits.
Yes. All right. And as well as you know, the thing is, you know, we appreciate all the support that we've had so far from people and messages and everything, and we thank them a lot. It does go and does help and keep us going and keep us positive. So just wanted to say thank you to all.
Okay, before we go, just a couple more things that I need to share with everyone. And this is, if anyone wants to contact Charlene directly, I'm going to give out your number, Charlene. I hope you don't mind.
No problem.
So anyone wants to contact Charlene, you can get hold of her on her cell number 076 566 2875. Or you can email us personally here at the direct line on the direct line sa@gmail.com. We would obviously love to hear from you. So if you want to contact Charlene, there's her phone number. If you want to email us, then you can email us too on our email address, the direct line sa@gmail.com. Before we go, just one final avenue that people can use, as you briefly attested to, is the Backer Buddy. I'm not familiar with the Backer Buddy platform, but you know, you've set up a page there too, so people feel more comfortable going to Backer Buddy. Backer Buddy link is in the description on this particular video, so feel free to go to that. But just quickly, Backer Buddy is another platform that used to raise funds, and you've used it successfully in the past.
Yes, I have, for my daughter. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
And for her sporting career, yes.
Okay. And people are free to use that. What I am going to do, hopefully I can do it right now, is to just get a snapshot of I'm actually going to that link right now, and I hope to show people. In closing, it's been a tough time on you personally. I know Lyall's mom is not well, and she has her own battle, so Lyall is dealing with that too. But you know, there's always light at the end of the rainbow, and light at the end of the tunnel, should I say, and a pot of gold hopefully at the end of the rainbow. What I wanted to say is that the people from racing are unbelievably good. And I know that this is going to strike a chord somewhere amongst our following. And I'm just hoping, Charlene, that come Christmas time, which is just around the corner, that there's a lot to hear about. And I know that times will be better for you guys.
Yes, I'm hoping. Yes, thank you. And we could all have a good Christmas.
Absolutely. Right. The final thing I want to do is to just share the Backer Buddy page. This is basically what it looks like. And that's where we put it. You can read up about it. The link is in the description. So I just wanted to say that's what was set up and has been set up immediately now. You can go down here. It tells you more about him. And there's if you want to find out more about it, then please go and use the Backer Buddy and click on the link. Okay, that's where we're going to leave it for today, Charlene. My thanks to you. Obviously, all our thoughts are with Lyall and his entire family, and I just hope that this can go some way to just cheering him up a little bit. And we look forward to seeing him back on our TV screens very soon.
Thanks, Nico. Have a great day.
Thanks very much, and thanks to you for the Direct Line subscriber for listening, and hoping that you can support him where possible.